human called for an extra hot latte. I fought back a sadistic grin as I prepared her drink. She had no idea what she was summoning with her entitled demands. This mortal sought to wield petty power over service workers. She craved burning heat and blistering pain. Such cruelty deserved punishment. She would learn the true meaning of anguish soon enough. My flesh disguise hid grotesque secrets underneath. My true face would peel her feeble mind like an overripe fruit. For now, I would play the part of the subservient barista, biding my time. "Here is your extra hot latte," I said in a sugar-sweet voice, placing the scalding cup on the counter. She sipped it and grimaced. "This tastes like hot milk. Did you even hear my order?" I apologized sincerely, hiding my delight at her outrage. The game was underway. I would stoke her petty rage into an inferno. I made the latte again, hot as molten lava. She gulped it down without flinching, then slammed the empty cup down. Pathetic. "I need to feel the burn," she seethed. "How useless can you baristas be?" The other employees eyed me nervously. If only they knew my true capabilities. I gave them a wounded look and offered again to remake the latte, hotter than humanly possible. This time, she dropped the cup mid-sip, letting the scalding liquid splash across my hands. I cried out convincingly. She left with a smug smile, believing she had caused harm. Little did she know the agony to come. The coffee left blistering burns on my human disguise. I soaked up the pain eagerly, savoring it. Soon, mortal flesh would melt from her bones. The other employees insisted I go to urgent care. Instead, I allowed my body to partially revert to its true form once home, cauterizing the burns with hellfire that coursed within. The scars added authenticity for my role. When the vile woman returned the next day, the stage was set. My senses heightened, fangs elongating behind human lips, the promise of retribution at hand. She slammed her palm on the counter. "Listen to me this time," she growled. "I want that latte to sear my throat, boiling hot. Got it?" "Of course." "So sorry for the trouble," I demurred. Inside, I could barely contain my glee. I turned to prepare her drink, letting a serpentine tail emerge beneath my work uniform. Its spiked tip secreted viscous venom into her coffee. She grabbed the cup forcefully when I offered it. The scorching liquid scalded even her abusive tongue. With deep satisfaction, I watched her gag and retch, throat swelling from the toxic infusion. "What have you done to me?" she rasped, clawing at her neck. How I wished to rip away this flimsy disguise and show her my true face. But not yet. More pain awaited her first. She fled the cafe, doubtless seeking medical help. But human medicine would provide no antidote for my venom. She would return to me soon enough, and the next round would be far worse. After days in bed, feeling her flesh decay from within, rotting her like overripe fruit, She stumbled back to the cafe, desperate for relief. So the game continued. "Help me," she wheezed. "My insides feel like they're liquefying." "But of course," I replied sweetly. "I know just the drink for you." I poured a molten concoction laced with toxins to eat through her organs. She gulped it without hesitation, too delirious to be wary. Bloody vomit and bile dripped down her chin. "What's happening to me?" she whimpered pitifully. I savored this moment, her previous arrogance reduced to raw terror by forces she could not comprehend. "You wanted your drink scalding hot," I purred, leaning closer. She recoiled from my smiling face as reality slowly sank in. "Let me fulfill your wish." I allowed my human eyes to briefly ignite with crimson inferno flames. She screamed, stumbling away and out of the cafe. But I would not let her escape so soon. Over the next days, I followed her in shadow form, vandalizing her home with demonic messages scrawled in her own blood, which I drew from her decaying veins while she slept. Finally, she retreated to a church, seeking refuge. The time had come for her full enlightenment. When she knelt, praying before the altar, a pit opened up beneath her. My clawed hand erupted to drag her screeching into the depths. I kept her suspended in a void between worlds. Not hell, but an abyss of my own making. My serpentine tail wrapped slowly around her frail body, pointed tips drawing pinpricks of blood. She blinked and gasped, eyes adjusting to the swirling shadows that surrounded her limp form. "Look at me," I commanded in my true sibilant voice. Weakly, she raised her head, eyes widening in stark horror as she took in my massive horned demon visage. "Please," she whimpered. "I'm sorry. Just let me go." She broke down into sobs, all previous arrogance gone. Pitiful. "Oh, but we are not done yet," I hissed, tightening my spiked coils. I relished her convulsing and screaming as poison coursed through her blood once more. "You wanted your drink scalding hot," I reminded her, as ectoplasm oozed from her blistering skin. "But this is only the beginning of what you deserve." Her spirit lingered in torment under my watchful gaze for what seemed an eternity. Finally, when I felt she had suffered enough poetic justice, I consumed her soul completely, savoring its exquisite flavor tinged with anguish. The human authorities never found her body, yet her disappearance troubled them little. She was an embittered loner, cruel and friendless in life. I resumed my post at the cafe soon after, flesh disguised back in place, with only the employees' lingering unease betraying something amiss. The door opened, bell tinkling gently. As I greeted the newcomer, I secretly hoped for another haughty mortal to demand an extra hot drink. My skills awaited a new subject. The elite coffee shop demon barista advanced in its art once more. The next latte would be scalding beyond human comprehension.